failure is inevitable. Today, we are going to interview one such personality who carried his profession and passion hand in hand. He is Mr. G.S.Ramarao, a former naval commander. He shares a deep passion towards music, and this led him to the path of philanthropy, the study and collection of stamps.
We are very pleased to meet you. We have seen your stamp and coin collection, and it's a great inspiration for all of us. We as Prakashites are here to let everybody know more about you and your hobby. We are really impressed at how you stand apart with your fathomless efforts.
Sir, can you please tell us about the place of your birth and your memories growing up there?
I was born in Visakhapatnam in 1941, and throughout my life I was in Visakhapatnam.
So, may we know more about your educational journey?
I studied in elementary school in Visakhapatnam called Sharada Vidyaniketan. Okay, after that I studied in MGM school for 1 year, my first form, and then joined the St. Anthony's High School. So I did my up to second form to SSLC in that school. Did very well in my secondary school leaving certificate. Joined the Mrs. Event College for the intermediate, and I did 2 years intermediate there. After in mathematics, physics, and chemistry group. After that, I joined the Andhra University. I joined the BA Honours for mathematical economics subject, and then did my MA thereafter. Now joining the university, I was there in the university for 4 years for my BA Honours and MA. When I was doing my honours course, I joined an NCC, National Cadet Corps, and in the Naval Wing National Cadet Corps. And that I continued for 4 years. And when I continued for 4 years, second year we had a B certificate exam where they check our parade training or rifle firing capabilities, and also how various trades that happen in the ships and all that they taught us. So we had an exam in that B certificate, I passed it that year. And next year I was selected to go to the Republic Day contingent in Delhi. You know, every year we had 26th of Jan, Republic Day. Then they used to select NCC cadets from Andhra Pradesh. Total 12 cadets used to be selected. I was selected from Visakhapatnam.
So how did music affect your life?
First of all, to start off with, I enjoyed learning music. Then there's no reason why I liked it. I liked it, but every one of you will have liking for something. Somehow I used to hear that music, I used to like it. I used to see people play instruments, various instruments, I used to sing. And I used to feel very happy. Then when I learned music, I found I'm able to sing. I mean, at that age of 50 I started learning music. At that age it's very difficult one to pick up and all, but I could pick up.
Sir, and was there any musician you were inspired by?
There are many. There is, I told you, Balamalli Krishna is one. Then my own teacher is an old man who never took any fees for teaching.
So, which one is the first stamp in your collection, sir?
Which one is it?
First stamp in your collection, and which one was your favorite, sir?
Actually, after this Prime Minister came, the present Prime Minister, a lot of beautiful stamps are being issued. Only except during this pandemic it is reduced.
Wow.
Various poses of Surya Namaskar is there. And this is called first day cover.
Yes, sir.
This is the first day cover issued when all the stamps were issued.
Wow. Indian cinema.
You see, on that particular day, only on that day they put this stamp called cancellation.
Oh.
You can't get it later. These stamps are issued on this particular date, so that particular date the stamp will be put. You can't get it later. So we feel proud to collect this particular cancellation on the particular date also.
Yes, Sir, you have gone through so many experiences in your time in the Navy. You have been to war and you have been to the USSR and gone through rigorous training. How has your family supported you through your journey in the Navy?
When I was in the NCC, my father encouraged me to go for the NCC regularly. He never questioned why. Otherwise, if I don't come back and be at the book evening 6 o'clock finish, you have to start studying at 6 o'clock, finish your dinner before that. 6 to 10 you must study, 10 o'clock sit over the right military discipline at home. You see, we like that. In the Navy, you can succeed only if your family supports you. Now, I used to go around all the time in the ships and training and things like most of the time away from the family. Almost 80% of my time I used to be away from the family. Then the children were there, 2 children. The children will have to look after and I must be encouraged to go. Suppose I tell I am going for 15 days sailing somewhere for some other, they should not feel distress and all that. My wife is the one who, as a backbone, looked after the family and brought up the children, and the children have come up only because of her. And my son did double masters in USA. He did the university first for both of them. He is settled in USA. He's in USA now. The last about 25 years is there. My daughter also did her MS, but she does social service. She doesn't work. She looks after her children and she does social service. I mean, normal schools, she teaches if required. She goes and teaches, and elderly people how to look after.
So how do you spend your time apart from listening to music and collecting stamps?
How do I spend excluding that? Most of my time I spend most of time on that only. And also with my grandchildren in Bangalore, I spend quite some time with them. Otherwise, I spend most of my time on my collections and how to improve them, what more can I do and things like that. After I finished my MA, I worked for 2 years in a Japanese company where I learned little Japanese. I used to request them to teach me and they taught me how that. They look after me very well. I was very happy to be with them and all that. They always called me Mr. Rao only, not Rao or something like Mr. Rao only. And they can't speak English well. So they used to explain what all they want in the office. And we go and meet the general manager, Minerals and Metals Trading Corporation or NMDC. And I'm the one who used to talk and tell what all we want. And whatever they explain, I come back and explain them in the office slowly. They understand and they write letters in Japanese back to Japan. And that's also a great experience I had working with foreigners. After that, I applied for Service Selection Board again. Because I was working in a company, I can't go for an interview. If you want to go for an interview, you require total 10 days. Going to Bangalore or Allahabad or somewhere and coming back, that is 4 days. Then 5 days is the interview, and you were selected medical, that is another 2 days and all that. Okay, I was selected. After that, we were sent for medical. Medical, we were all very worried. I used to be very lame, okay? So we were worried, may not get selected and all that. So in fact, one of my friends only 4 days back, he told me, "Arey yaar, you went outside and brought 12 bananas and you gave me 6 and you ate 6 and you drank a lot of water because we were underweight. To show more weight, no, we did that. Ate 6 bananas and had water and did that. I was underweight. The final board, I was really worried I may not be selected. But the president of medical board said, "Oh, you are underweight." He looked at me. I said, "Finish." "No, but don't worry, you'll improve your weight." That's what he said. And selected. So that was a great thing. One day in the afternoon, I went home and I got a big cover. I thought, Probably all my certificates have come back and they didn't select. But when I opened, I saw you are hereby selected, I read that letter. By the time the postman has gone quite far up, I ran behind him, gave him 5 rupees and I felt very happy at the time. And within another 20 days, I joined the Navy in Delhi, INS Delhi, Bombay. Our training started in there's a big ship, cruiser, and the captain was a great person by name Pereira. He subsequently became chief of the naval staff also. He didn't have any children. He used to call everybody son only. Those days only boys they can join the services. So he used to call all of us son only. Suppose we do a mistake, if he watches it, son does not like there is an Anglo-Indian. The English also is very peculiar. Not like that you must do this way and all. He used to explain it. A very good training we had. One stage it was very tough, but one stage we learned a lot because of that, and it was physically also very tough for us. And we continued the training for 1 year. When in INS Delhi we shipped for about only 4 weeks. Then we went to a place called Cochin. We were trained for 5 weeks in various schools, basic and divisional course. Then the navigation and direction course, where they teach you how to navigate a ship from one place to another, how to take a ship from. Those days there was no GPS, nothing whatsoever. So today, now there is a lot of advancement. Those days it was not like that. So like that, then torpedo anti-submarine school, how to fight torpedoes and how a torpedo works and all that, and surface to surface, not surface to missile. What is that? Rocket launches, rockets, okay, all that. Then gunnery school, where we were taught about various types of guns and how to fire guns, all that. So this kind of training we had in 5 different schools. After that again we were sent to INS Delhi. So by then we have some knowledge of the Navy, okay, how things work and all that. So we used to, whenever an officer is doing a watch in the ship, in the ship there is the higher place, there are 3-4 officers on duty any time. So we used to be along with them, learn, watching them, what all they teach and all that. Subsequently again we were sent to 4 months training in another ship called Kaveri, a smaller ship, but that was the toughest training we had. In the sea, you can't stand direct many times because the ship rolls like this, pitches like this. You see for the beach, everything looks very nice. But if you're at sea, sometimes the life is very, very tough. Sometimes you vomit badly, you can't eat anything, but you have to do your duty. You can't stop that. Okay? I was selected in my 3rd year after joining the Navy to go to Russia, then called USSR, Union of Soviet Socialist Republics. Okay, Russians they write as CCCP. I was trained for 4 months in India in Russian language because the Russians they don't teach in English. They also can't speak good English, though they used to teach only in Russian. So we had to learn Russian. 4 months we were taught in India. Then after we went there, another 3 months taught by a Russian teacher who never spoke a single English word. India, the lady used to speak English also to make us understand. But in Russia, that lady never spoke English. So we had to learn in a very difficult way. Thereafter, training was completely in Russian language. Here I want to tell you one thing. Russian language is a very great language. I learned it over many years. It is almost similar to Sanskrit. Okay, you can, like in Telugu, you say Nuvu, Meru, Atanu, different methods by which you can, they, okay, all this kind of 6 types you can explain, and it is very similar to Sanskrit. and the language is very authentic. For a defense person, when he's talking in Russian language, you're really commanding people. That will be there. After 1 year, no, there we were kept in an island in Russia. They are very secretive people. Russians are very secretive people. They will not say a single word except what you should know. That's all. Okay. We were kept on an island. That means the sea is all around. The land is in between. So we were in that island. Our school was in that island, and only once on every Sunday they used to take us out to the main place. We were in a place called Vladivostok. So we were taken out. So we used to roam around, go to shops and things like that, and come back. Only on Sunday they used to take us out. Another thing I'll tell you is the temperature in Vladivostok used to be terrible in winter. The winter temperature used to be minus 32 degrees centigrade. You can't imagine, 0 degrees you can't imagine. Minus 32 degrees centigrade. We used to wear 4 layers of woolen clothes, okay? And there was no hot air blowing system. There used to be hot water flowing around the room all the time. So we used to feel warm, that's all. But once we go out, we used to shiver. We used to put so many things. We used to put a cap also here, woolen cap and full dress, and it was very difficult. We have to live like that for 4 months in a year in the winter. After the training is over, we came back to India. We were sent on our leave for some time. We came back. Then our ships started coming. We were trained for 8 ships called Nirpek, Nashak, Nipat, Nirghat, Vijayata, Veer, Vidyut, Vinash. These are 8 ships. We were trained for those ships. So the ships started coming. But they were not big ships. They were smaller ships. So they can't come by sea all the way from Russia to India because fuel is a problem. So you can't keep on refueling those small ships at sea. So they lifted them and put in merchant ships. And merchant ships, they brought it up to Calcutta. They were unloaded there. Thereafter, we brought that ship to Visakhapatnam, and we had the training every day. We used to go out to sea and all that. That is the time when the war fever started in 1971 with Pakistan. The fever started, this can happen, that can happen, and everybody used to build up. They also built up their defenses. India also built up their defenses. In August 1971, the Prime Minister, then Prime Minister was Indira Gandhi. Indira Gandhi and the Chief of the Naval Staff wanted to see the effectiveness of our ship. Our ships were missile boats called. We used to have 4 missiles. They have surface missiles. That means you fire a missile, it will go and hit another ship, by which big hole made in the ship, and the water gusts in and the ship sinks. Okay, all the people will die. So that was the effectiveness of and the Chief of the Naval Staff and the Prime Minister wanted to see the effectiveness of the missile. I was nominated to fire the missile at that time. So 1 month I was really worried, if everything goes off well, they will not give me credit for that. The head of the organization will get the credit. But if anything goes wrong, I'll be hanged. Okay, so I used to work very hard. Luckily, the firing went off well and it went and hit the target. Okay, thereafter, the government also developed a belief that these ships are very helpful in the war. 1971 war started on 3rd or 4th of December when these missile boats, before that they were towed by iron ropes. Another ship used to pull in the water, take us to a place called Okha. From there we were refueled and kept ready to go and attack Karachi if required. Okay? So on 4th of December, 3 missile ships were sent to Karachi undetected, and they fired missiles on Karachi harbour, and by which some ships were hit, some shore establishments were hit, and many ships sank. And thereafter, the Pakistanis naval ships were worried to come out because these ships are very effective. And the second day also similar attack was carried out when an oil refinery was completely burned. That flames, I believe, was seen for about 6 days. The Pakistanis themselves have claimed the flames were there for 6 days thereafter. Okay? And one of the reasons we won the 71 war was that because of the missile boats. And I was also one of the officers, as a missile officer, one of the ship. I also fired missile on Karachi, and we was very proud because of that throughout our life thereafter. Our naval career, because everywhere they respect us wherever we go. Oh, these people took part in 71 war. Even now, many people keep talking to me about that war and what all happened and things like that, you see. So the war was over, and we were now called as killers thereafter because we sank many ships. So our ships outside they wrote killers, K-I-L-L-E-R-S, killers, okay. Thereafter we were known as killers in the Navy. But when we came back, the entire ships and what our training we got, what all we learned, is all top secret. We can't talk to even friends. We can invite to our ships, we can't show our ships also. It's a top secret project. Everything went over. Thereafter, after 2 years, I was selected to go to Cochin for 1 year training in gun race systems.
So can you tell us about these badges?
This was my shoulder straps, so we used to put in there. I was a commander, so commanders there will be 3 straps. Sub-lieutenant 1 will be there, then lieutenant 2 will be there, lieutenant commander 2.5 will be there, commander 3. And that is my name tally which I used to put always, and that is the medal ribbon which we wear every day. You see the ship here, this is the type of ship I was in during 1971 war. These are called missile boat. We used to be 4 officers and about 18 sailors in this ship. Photograph of that ship, where I was. So you see Veteran Killers Day at sea 08. 1908 they invited us one. So there is a photograph that was taken at that time. These are the 2 medals I got in 97 from Warama. This is for taking part in the western region, the eastern region. Then after completion of 10 years service, and another is after completion of 30 years service, the uniform all the time. I mean important functions like parades and all that. Whereas the other small one I showed you, we wear on the uniform regularly, all the time.
Sir, thank you very much for sharing your truly inspirational story with us. Now we request you to give a message to our professionals.
You can achieve anything you want in the world. There is nothing great, nothing difficult. Tomorrow you want to be a pilot of an aircraft, you can be. There are girls who joined as pilots. There are now girls who are, flying our routine or flights, passenger flights. There are a lot of them. The captains of the flights, they are there. And you develop an inclination, liking for something, and you can achieve maximum in that. And it is nobody need tell you, oh, you have done great in this and all. There is no need, there is no requirement. Like I achieved so many things, nobody will tell me, oh, you have done this, you have done. Okay, all right, this is a passion I have done, and I feel happy that I could achieve something for myself. So you all must, of course, work harder for that. You can't achieve things just like that. You have to work very hard for that, and never compare with others, yourself, and be very confident of anything you do, and be positive. Never say I can't do it. You can do it. Everything you can do it.